Sound check. Sound check. Voice check, check. Microphone check. Microphone checker. Squingles call lecture. Closing down the sector. Supreme Rec Protector. Better water care, Mr. Meta. Water pop. Better was live from the pressure. Too hot for TV. For she's you too busy wanna be. Alright, I think that's enough of that. Alright, I think we got it. Good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elite Aspect F1 Gold League. We are here, Season 1, Round 3 at the Australian Grand Prix here in Melbourne around the Albert Park Street Circuit. Just joining with 15 minutes left in Q1. 19 drivers. I think we're going to have somebody else join in just a minute. So full race grid for us this evening here in the Elite Aspect Gold F1 League. As we do see one of the Aston Martins, Deco, he is on a push lap, it does look like. Just went around his teammate, letting him on by. Well, actually, I think this might be the first one that's going to put in a lap for us today, so we'll keep an eye on that. Get some lap data, get some track maps here. Just getting ready to get started. Everybody's starting out here to put in a lap, so we're going to start seeing some times. Plenty of time here in qualifying, so we've got some slow track movers out there. Deco 24 with a 1:19.589. Of course, this track is going to evolve, and we're going to see times just start slipping down. Top 15 will go through. Looks like Dota Ligo has already retired from the session. Not sure what happened there, but that's going to do it, as we already see those times are starting to drop. We've got Josh 2 just did a 1:17.842. That's probably the low 117s is probably where we're going to be looking at to make sure we get through into Q3, absolutely, from Q2. But 1:17.842, then a 1:18.971. Of course, equal competition here for all the cars. We'll see what these guys are using as far as tires are concerned. Some of them might want to, they think they've got enough pace to get through on the set of mediums. They can save a set of tire softs going into Q2 and Q3, of course, and also save them for the race if they would like to. I'm not really going to see much of that probably this weekend for this race here around Australia, the Albert Park around in Melbourne, because I think the medium and hard tires are going to be preferred. However, starting on the softs and getting an early safety car can always help, so we'll see how that evolves. Of course, we will see these times starting to come down as everybody's putting in their lap times. We do have another yellow flag in Sector 3. I think that's just a car going slowly, getting ready to set themselves up, as we see one in Sector 1 as well. Well, yeah, Josh right now with a 1:17.842. That is the time to beat. As we get more drivers in, we'll see where that 15th place is. But again, yeah, Dota Ligo in the Ferrari already out of this race. That is very unfortunate. But just to go through a couple things right now as far as the standings are concerned, we are very, very close. MDJ won the first race in Bahrain. He's sitting on 25 points, excuse me. LH Monty, he ended up first place in Saudi Arabia. He's sitting on 25 points as well. AL9226 in that Red Bull is on 25 points as well. So we've got three tied with 25 points to start this race, 1, 2, and 3. And they're all in the race this weekend as well. And then we've got Young Lights on 20 points, BDV on 18, NL Boston and Williams on 18. I'm not sure if he's in the race today in that Williams car. I think somebody's taken over for him faster than you will be in the Williams for him today. We do have CPI 0 on track today. He scored low points in one of the races, so he's looking to improve absolutely. And EKZ Kadri in the Ferrari, I don't think he's in today as well. I think it'll be Michael taking the cockpit for him in that Ferrari. So still plenty of time here in Q1. We've got 10 drivers that have put in lap times. We still need to get the top 15 drivers that'll go through. A lot of guys just staying in the pits. What happens here is the track's going to evolve, get faster and faster and faster as these guys keep going around. So I'm going to try to conserve my breath just a little bit. Actually, nope, well, 1 second here as we are on board riding with CPI 0 as he is rounding through the first sector at the moment, going into Sector 2. He did set a fastest first sector. But we are here at the Albert Park circuit. It is 5.278 kilometers. That's roughly 3.28 miles, as a matter of fact. 14 turns, 4 DRS zones here at this track after they changed a few things around a bit. And there's 2 DRS detection zones. So the DRS detection zone right between turns 12 and 13, where our Alpine is coming up to right now. We'll see who gets DRS going into turn 1 and again into turn 3, and then another DRS detection zone between turns 6 and 7. We'll set up the DRS for going into turns 9, and then again for turn 11. CPI 0 with a 1:17.988 puts him second fastest so far, so I did want to ride on board with him. He did set a fastest first and third sector, it looks like, but wasn't able to quite nip another 10th out of it to catch up with Josh too. But again, you just want to be in the top 15 to make sure we get into Q2, so I think he's just going to take a nice slow in lap, maybe try to conserve these tires, and they might be okay with that, but I'm sure we'll start to see more drivers get out on track and those times start to drop, and then it'll be a scramble to see who can get into the top 15. But I'll probably wait for another few minutes and then come back live with you. I am Fabregas115 coming with you live for Elite Aspect F1 Gold League, round 3 of season 1 here at the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne, Australia for the Australian Grand Prix. All right, picking back up here with Elite Aspect F1 Gold League, Season 1, Round 3. In Q1, we've got 17 drivers that have put in a lap time. Right now, that cutoff is a top 15 go through, so 124.22 is a time to beat. We're about to start a flash lap here under our head man here. Shout out to him, Young Lights, as he is sitting in that McLaren, warming up his tires, getting ready to give us a go here. We'll do a little ride on board and check out this circuit, the new Albert Park Street circuit. They've done some modifications, so there's no more chicane in between turns 8 and 9 now. And they modified the chicanes just a little bit. So here is the front straight as we barrel down into turn 1 with our DRS open. Try to get late on the brakes because this is a nice fast right left-hander. Then another DRS zone as we head down to one of the sharper turns of the circuit in turn 3 here. Probably brake right at that 100-meter board just a little bit after. Make sure you turn in, get that apex, and then get all the way to the right. Set yourself up for this off-throttle left-hander of turn 4. Then a nice full-throttle fast right-hander of turn 5. And full race outfit with a heavy load of fuel. Probably be a little bit slower going through there. But then the other fast right left-hander of 6 and 7. Then round turn 8, trying to stay to the inside of this track. This is where they introduced a new DRS zone as we get ready to go into the fast chicane here. Looks like he's got a pretty good time. I haven't seen any mistakes yet, but he is on the medium compound tires, so very good for him. Down to 6th gear usually there. He put it into 5th. I think he wanted a little bit more traction, maybe a little bit more engine brake. Then our last DRS zone of the track as we head down into the revamped turn 11. A little bit tighter than it was just a few years back, but it does set up for a little bit more overtaking. With that DRS zone, then another off-throttle 5th, 6th gear of turn. Got a little wobbly coming out there, heavy braking zone into the penultimate turn of turn 13, and then just off-throttle again, turn 14, get back on that power, open that DRS, and head down to the line. This looks like a pretty good time. I think it's going to be low 118s, 118.5. That'll put him in 8th on those medium compound tires. So good run there from Young Lights, who is our captain here, lead, put this all together for us, so we definitely want to thank him and give a big shout out to him at some point. We do have AI9266, who we did say was doing very well in the leaderboard standings. He is sitting in 3rd place, but tied with the other 2 guys of H44 Monty, who is sitting right behind the other leader at 25 points, MDJ 2002, who won the race in Bahrain just 2 weeks ago. Again, LH Monty was our race winner in Saudi Arabia last week, and we do have AI9226 in that Red Bull, who has just been consistent, gathering 25 points from the first 2 races. Young Lights in 4th place, getting 20 points, and then a couple drivers there with 18, 15 points on down the order. So very tight. We've had a couple drivers that have missed a race so far, so that's probably the reason why we're so tight up top. The leaderboard just after 2 races here, but I expect to see some good things happen here. We're still waiting for one more driver to join us. Hopefully he can get in. Hopefully he'll get into the race. He's not in by now. That is probably a not good sign to get him into Q2. So unfortunate to see that. But at the moment, Jadane, Deco, Kratos, and Dodaligo is already out. So Jadane, Deco, and Kratos are our drivers at risk. Time to beat is a 119.224. They are still in the pits and almost about to come out, as we are still here with AI9226. I think he does want to improve that 118.8 to see if he can do a little bit better lap to give himself some breathing room. But we have noticed that he likes that Red Bull with a nice squirrely rear end. As he dives into the pits, he's going to change those soft tires and maybe go out again. We'll see if he's safe in that 12th spot, as we see most of the drivers up top retire. We just had Michael set a 117.790 to go top spot to keep himself secure. We've got Yask on an outlap. He's about to start his flying lap, so we'll stick with him for a little bit, as we should be seeing the drivers BDV, Jadane, Deco, and Kratos all be out of the pits. It looks like Kratos is already on a flying lap, so we'll actually pick up him as he is rounding the fast chicane of turns 9 and 10, open the DRS, heading down into turn 11, which again is a nice tighter turn now than it was just a few years back. But it sets up for turn 12 really nice as well, and we'll see if he can improve in that Red Bull. The Red Bulls both consistent on points. They are leading the Constructors' Championship on 32 points at the moment, so they definitely want to keep that up. That rear end of the Red Bull does look a little bit squirrely, though. We'll see how that fares going through this race. He did improve, put up to 6th place with a 118.312, so that's probably going to be safe for him. As far as you're not down, the drivers at risk, again, now are Diaz, Faster Than You, and AI. If he can get back out, he might want to. Faster Than You is on an outlap. But we still got Deco. Core Lemon did get in. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get out there and put in a lap. He needs to be getting out there, so it looks like he's going to miss out, but it'll do a from the back to first challenge. We'll see if he can handle that. So we do have 20 drivers in at the moment. Deco's still in the pits. He's not going to be able to get back out. But we do have Jadane and VDV. Those are the two guys we're really going to be looking at as they are rounding this circuit. Looks like VDV is on his outlap. He needs to get around quickly. Jadane has letting a driver by. He just needs to cross the line. He's setting up for his lap. And Diask is already on a lap as well. We do have some other drivers on and out lap. Let's see if they can get around fast enough. Diaz did improve to 11th, so that's definitely going to help him out. Faster Than You is coming around one of the penultimate turns as we speak in that Williams. Of course, his teammate is going to be starting from the back, so it'd be nice if he can at least put it into Q2 and start in the top 15 at least. Faster Than You does not improve, but he is still safe at the moment. We've got Jadane, who is rounding around turns 4 and 5 now. So we'll keep an eye on him. He is pushing hard. You see that ERS is burning. So he is definitely on a hot lap here. We do have a yellow flag in Sector 1. Looks like an Alpine may just be slowing down for a car to get around or setting up. So if you do not cross the line, it looks like we just had a Red Bull cross the line, and it doesn't look like we had a Williams cross the line. If that was the case. So we do have a Red Bull that's on a fast lap behind us. Looks like another Aston Martin behind the Haas here, and I'm not sure who else is further down on a fast lap. But we're going to stick with Jadane right now because he's going to be the first one to cross the line to see if he can improve and get out of the drop zone here out to Albert Park Street Circuit in Melbourne, Australia for our Elite Aspect F1 Gold League race, round 3 of Season 1. Just around turn 12 here and full throttle, and then just feather off to get around the last turn, open that DRS, make a straight line for that. It does look like a pretty good time at the moment, so he improves to a 1:18.6, so that's going to put him to 11th place. That puts AI at risk now. If Faster Than You, is he on a lap? It does look like he is. No, I don't think he is. He's probably going to be out, and that looks like it's going to do it. I think something must have happened. So Faster Than You is not going to be able to put in another lap. AI 9226 is going to be safe. So VDV, Deco, Core, Lemon, Faster Than You, and Dota Ligo have all been eliminated from Q1. Do want to make a big thank you here that we do have 15 people watching in the stream today, so do appreciate that. Everybody do a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, of course, to better the channel. That would be great for the Elite Aspect F1 Gold League, just regular Elite Aspect Gold channel. That would be fantastic if everybody could do that, especially while we're just hanging out here at the moment. Sorry, y'all don't need to hear. There we go. So yeah, quite a few drivers in the on the YouTube watching, so do appreciate that again. We do see Michael set the top time there with a 1:17.7. I think that's probably going to be close to what we need to be seeing to put it on pole position. Probably a little bit less than that as this track does evolve. As we did see, Faster Than You, VDV, Deco, Core Lemon, and Dota Ligo all eliminated. So Jake's Man United just made it through there. So congratulations to him to make it into Q2. We did see Young Lights, LH Monty, a race winner as well. M. Polhis, looks like I don't know if that was Dutch or French. I think it was a Dutch flag. Not sure how to pronounce his name, so if I murder that, I do apologize to you. Made it in through on the medium tire, so they have used up a set of mediums, so they'll have one fresh one for the race and now a set of used ones for the race as well, but they also have an extra set of fresh tires here in Q2, and then of course if you make it into Q3, I believe, I'm not sure if the game does it this way, but you should get an extra set of fresh softs if you make it into Q3. So starting Q2 here for Elite Aspect Gold F1 League, round 3 of Season 1. I know I keep repeating myself, but anybody pick up the stream, we want to make sure they know where we are. We've got a Red Bull and a Mercedes already out. I think everybody's just going to put in a little quick test lap here, especially those that saved a nice set of soft compound tires. Both Red Bulls out of the pits as we speak. Looks like AI was first. No, Kratos was first. And he's got a couple cars ahead of him as we see those outlaps starting to pop up. SER Jackson, first one out, and then it looked like CPI 0. So looking good for these guys. I'm actually just going to take a minute and grab something to drink as these guys get ready for their outlaps and then put in a set of times. It's going to be 2 runs for everybody here, and if you can put in a 3rd run if need be. So the object is to get in the top 10. 11 through 15 will be eliminated out of Q2 going into Q3, and we're just warming up here in Australia for Elite Aspect F1 Gold League round 3 of season 1. Alright, hello everyone that's just joined, and welcome back if you're already here. We are here for Elite Aspect F1 Gold Season 1, Round 3 at the Alberts Park Street Circuit here in Melbourne, Australia. As we pick up with Q2, we've got Polhus in the AlphaTauri, sitting penultimate pole here in Q2 with a 1:17.518. That's an excellent time for him, absolutely. And we've got the top 5 drivers all doing sub 118s out there. So those drivers do look safe, as we've got a lot of drivers in the pits at the moment. The race winner from Bahrain, MDJ, is just starting his fast lap here to see if he can get out of the drop zone. Top 10 drivers will go through into Q3, as we've got the DRS open, heading down into turn 3. We'll see if his teammate can get out of the way. Does look like it, just fine there, as Jadane's on the out lap. He is in the drop zone currently as well. And we know MDJ does have some pace, as he is a race winner already this season. Just rounding turns 5, 6, and 7 there, as we'll come around turn 8, which is the long, fast, full throttle turn. Open that DRS and head down to the fast left right of turn 9 and 10. Stayed on the throttle pretty well through there, so probably picked up a couple tenths as we come down into one of the harder turns here, the right-hand turn of turn 11, which has been revamped a little bit. Then just a little off throttle, maybe a downshift for turn 12, through turn 13 and then 14, and we'll see where this puts him. He's definitely going to improve, I do believe, but will he be able to break that 118 mark? 118.9 is what he needs to do, and he did just do it with a 118.918. That puts him into the top 10, but he's got drivers back behind him, so he's going to want to get around pretty quickly, probably put on a fresh set of soft boots and get back out there. And we do have now his teammate behind him, giving him a little bit of slipstream into turn 3 and then turn 4, so we'll ride on board with the other Haas as he makes his way around Albert Park. Again, we've got the top 3 drivers have retired. M. Polhus, Young Lights, and LH44 Monty have all retired, thinking they're sub 118, sub 117.8s should be good to get them in to Q3. We've got a couple drivers out there. CPI Zero's probably going to want to do another lap, because I think he just started one. We've got Josh on an out lap. He's probably safe at the moment, but you never really know what these drivers are doing, as we do have CPI Zero through Diaz on laps as well. But Jadane is in the drop. Diaz is also in the drop. We'll see if Jadane can improve here. He wants to get better than his teammate, I'm assuming, to make sure he can guarantee himself. He does improve, though. He's going to knock his teammate out of Q3 at the moment. So he puts himself 9th. That leaves SAR Jackson at risk of being knocked out. Diaz is on a warm-up lap again, so it looks like he's doing 2 of them. We'll pick up with Kratos. Is he in that Red Bull? He's trying to improve as well, but he's like SAR Jackson needs to be out there on track. I wasn't quite sure where he was. I think he's behind the Ferrari of Michael, who is invalidated. He's going to get around and try to put another lap, so he's going to slow his pace and charge his battery as we open the DRS zone. Kubica has retired from the session, so the top 5 have now retired. All sub 118s. They all think they're safe. They should be at this moment, I do believe. But we've still got a lot of drivers on track, and that could change very, very quickly. So at the end of this everything could be jumbled up. But those drivers at the top 5 are very, very quick at the moment, as he's coming out of the final turn with a 113 to do it. That's actually going to be a pretty decent lap with a 118 to 1. That's going to put him in the 8th spot. That knocks SAR Jackson, who is on a lap, out of the top 10. And Jadane probably, I don't know if he's going to have enough time. We'll pick up with SAR Jackson here in that Mercedes, as he is rounding turn 11, going into turn 12. A little bit of wheel spin there, but not so bad. Let's see his time. He's going to want to be exiting turn 14 here, sub 113. He's very, very close. He's on the cusp here. This is going to be close. Is he going to be able to beat a 118.6? He just needs to barely improve just a little bit, and he does with a 118.603, but that still puts him at risk, as Jake and Michael are still on laps as well. Looks like Jake is just starting his, so we'll pick up with Michael, who is just rounding through into turn 8 and 9 now as he's making his way down the straight. DRS open into the fast left righter of turn 9. We saw some overtakes here in real F1 this year because that DRS is just overpowered through there. Did use plenty of the track there, did not invalidate. Looks like he did invalidate, but at the same time, he set a fastest second sector. We just saw Josh 2 put it faster than anyone with a 1:17.271. That is absolutely blistering speed. Can Michael get around and save enough battery to be able to go out again? So we'll pick up with Jake Man United at the moment, who has invalidated as well. So MGDJ, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's probably causing the flags here for Sector 2, Sector 3. He just needs to get around one more time. And I'm assuming SAR Jackson's going to want to put in another lap. It looks like he's going pretty slow. He's not going to make it in time. As we have a Ferrari off the track. That was Michael, which is fine. He did invalidate his lap anyway. So I think this is going to be it for Q2. We'll see what MDJ 2002 can do. We know he's got pace. We may not care for this track that much, but we know he does have pace, as he is a race winner already in this season. So Jakes has retired. So Diaz, Jakes, and Michael are all out in Q2. It's going to be a fight. Looks like Jadane is already out. SIR Jackson can't improve on his lap. Kratos is probably safe because MJD is the only one that can improve. And if MGD does improve, then that's going to knock Jackson out of the top 10. So this is all for the money right here as we are on board with MDJ in the Haas, trying to make his way into Q3. And that's going to do it for Q2 here. So. That was a very good turn of turn 11, almost perfect as far as that apex is concerned. We'll see how he gets out of turn 14 here. It'd be nice if he was still in the 112s if he was. I think he might have done it, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's going to do a sub 118.2 here. 118 flat, that's definitely going to put him into the top 10, I do believe. Yep, that puts him 8, so that's going to knock SAR Jackson out. His teammate is going to be out as well, but that's the way the Haas rolls. So there we have it for Q2 here at the Australian Grand Prix for Elite Aspect F1 Gold League. Josh put it on pole with a 1:17.2, but still one more round of qualifying left. So that's not definitely set in stone. We still got one more round left to go. So SAR Jackson knocked out right at the end there by a great lap there with a 1:18 flat by MDJ. Jadane, Diask, and Jake and Michael were all knocked out here in Q2. So top 10 go through into Q3. Everybody was using the soft set of tires, but if you look at that top 10, separated about less than a second. And of course, this is qualifying, so who knows what the race pace is going to look like, but that was a fantastic qualifying here for Q2, but we're about to get into Q3 here, so a little bit more to go, only 12 minutes for Q3, so it's going to be interesting. Usually everybody puts out a lap, cools their tires, puts on a new set of boots, and goes out again, so it should be fun to watch. We should have a fantastic finish here in Q3. Is track evolution a thing in this game? Yes, it is. Alright, drivers going ahead and putting on those soft tires and getting out there to run their warm-up laps. As soon as they cross the line there, they'll be considered on an out lap. We'll just keep an eye on everybody as they want to put in their first times. I'm actually thinking we're going to have a fantastic race here today. Just looking at the quality times and the competitiveness between those, I think today's race is going to be great. Again, we are here at Albert Park for Season 1, Round 3 of Elite Aspect Gold F1. Track is 14 turns, 5.278 kilometers. That's roughly 3.28 miles. 4 DRS zones in this revamped circuit. So they took out the chicane going in from 8 to 9, and now the fast left-right chicane at the end of a DRS zone is now 9 and 10 instead of 10 and 11. So yeah, DRS detection zone between 12 and 13, and then you get a DRS on the pit straight down into turn 1. Come out of turn 2, another DRS, which is the same detection zone. So even if you pass your guy, you get DRS again. And then the second DRS detection zone is on that fast right left-hander of turn 6 and 7, and that'll give you DRS going into turn 9. The fast left-right chicane of 9 and 10, and then DRS again going down into turn 11. So 2 DRS detection zones, but 4 DRS uses around this track, which has gotten a little bit faster since a couple years ago. So yeah, very interesting. We did Bahrain, which is a very conventional circuit, hard on the tires, and then we had Saudi Arabia last week, which is the fastest street circuit, they say, as far as F1 calendar is concerned. We've got Young Lights who just set a purple sector in Sector 1. However, I don't know if there's any other drivers in front of him that have put in a time yet in this Q3. But he has been qualifying very, very well. He's got great pace. Just been a little bit unfortunate in the races, especially with race strategy, tire strategy, and then the timing of safety cars is what I think has hurt Young Lights the most as far as him optimizing his points. But again, he's still in the top 5 as far as the point standing is concerned. So definitely putting it in and being very consistent. Just a little unfortunate with safety car timing so far this season, as he is rounding turn 14 here and going to finish up his lap. LH Monty, race winner last week, who has set a 1:17.661. Young Lights with a 1:17.888. Josh's teammate, Young Lights, the McLaren. So that's a very strong team, as we've seen Josh do very, very well. CPI 0 just did a 1:17.733. Good to see him back. I think he had an issue last week, so we'd like to see him really do well. I know he's got pretty good pace overall. MDJ, our other race winner in round 1, he's just put it 3rd. So all these guys are going to put their lap times in. As we've got, AI just crossed the line with a 1:36.60, so he probably did a second warm-up lap. So yeah, he's got plenty of DRS to burn, so he didn't really put. Josh 2, now the second McLaren just did a 1:17.376. So 2 McLarens, 2 Red Bulls, 2 AlphaTauris out there, a Mercedes, a Haas, an Alpine, and an Alfa Romeo. Again, 2 race winners already in this Q3 here at Albert Park, and then 2 other drivers that have finished in the top 5 in the first 2 races as well. So really looking at AI and Young Lights, I believe, both of them. Kubica is one of those drivers. I have seen him the last 2 weeks. Usually qualifying around this area in the top 10, between 7th and 10th, and then just has a good race pace and then does well with the strategy, because he's been finishing pretty well in the points this season as well. So I'd like to see him. But I will tell you, AI and Kratos, both Red Bulls that I've been watching, I've been riding on board with, that rear end is just absolutely slippery for them. So both those drivers in the Red Bull, if that's the way they like their setup, then more power to them. They're going to have more straight line speed, as we do watch AI cross the line with a 118 flat, pretty much puts him up to 7th. So everybody's going to run around, pull in the pits, and I mean, you want to be the last driver out, because I believe somebody did ask if they had track evolution around here. And yes, there is track evolution as far as these games, as far as I've ever been able to tell. I don't know that it's confirmed on the EA Codemasters F1 23 game website, but everything that I've ever noticed, and every race I've ever raced, every race I've ever watched and commentated, track evolution seems like it's real, because the first person out, and then you go out again, you get faster, and go out again, you get faster, and then even as it progresses, as practice sessions progress, it's always felt that way to me. If you're keeping consistent with your setup and your fuel loads, yeah, track evolution is definitely real. And I know they say that dirty air doesn't exist, but I think it does. And I find, especially in the medium speed corners, I find that I have understeer if I'm following a car really, really closely. I don't know how they can do that in a game like this, but just feel that it's a thing. So I don't know. He is coming into the pits. I thought maybe he was still putting in a lap. So everybody's in the pits. Is Kubica on a hot lap? No, he's on an in lap as well. So I think everybody's going to come into the pits, and then it's going to be a gamble. Everybody's going to wait till about 3 minutes left. And as we see Kubica mowing some grass there. Nothing wrong with that. He can do that. Nobody else is on track. Save a little bit of time. I don't know. If this is real F1, the stewards might not like that, but who can they say he did something wrong? I don't think he did anything wrong. So, everybody's probably going to sit in the pits here for a couple minutes, and then probably around the 2.5, 3 minute mark, maybe even less than that, maybe 2 minutes left to go. We're going to see all these drivers come out with fresh boots, and it's going to be a fight for position and see who wants to be the last one across that line. Alright, ladies and gents, we are back. Albert Park Street Circuit here for Elite Aspect F1 Gold Season 1, Round 3. This is where we're going to bake the muffins. A couple minutes left in qualifying here in Q3. Who wants to put it on pole? We've got Pole Hughes right now in the AlphaTauri with a 1:17.3. Everybody's slowing down, doing their out laps. We do have a yellow flag in sector 3, but that's just because all the drivers are going slow, trying to get their distances, getting their gaps. and then everybody's going to go. So who's going to be first across the line here? Polhus is on his lap. He's going to try to improve as he is in the AlphaTauri. I'm just going to look back. Who's going to be? I think it's Kratos that's going to be first across the line. He's got his teammate behind him, who, if they get there quick enough, it doesn't look like it. AI, if he can get across the line in just a couple of seconds, he'll be able to put one in. I did see Kratos set the fastest sector in Sector 2 there. He's going to be the first one across the line here. DRS open, on down to the line. That's a fantastic lap. He just did a 1:17.6. Puts him 4th place at the moment. His teammate behind him, I'm not sure if he got through. He may have. Who's next across the line? Kubica has invalidated. We've got a McLaren behind him of Josh. Polhus just did a 1:16.906. That's going to be tough to beat. Oh, and Josh is just off the track. That's going to kill his lap. We've got the Haas right behind him, who has invalidated as well. And then the Alfa Romeo of Monty, who is definitely flying around turns 12 and 13 here. Can he challenge that 1:16.9? Josh with a 1:17. He's on the front row at the moment, but a race winner in Monty already just last week in Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Street Circuit. How can he do? He's put it on the front row. Kratos is done. Looks like CPI 0. Young Lights is stopped on track almost. Is there any other driver out there? Did AI get across the line in time to actually put in a lap? It doesn't say he's finished. He needs that car to get out of the way in front of him. I think that was an Alpine. No, it couldn't have been an Alpine. Yeah, it was an Alpine at CPI 0. Oh, and he loses the rear end right at the def there. Is he going to cross the line backwards? No, that's not going to help him out very much there, but that's going to put a yellow flag in Sector 3, of course, as that's going to pretty much do it here. So, interesting qualifying. Polhus with a 1:16.906. That is absolutely flying. I don't think anything else can change here, as everybody else should be done. Yeah, everybody was giving it all they had there at the end. I think AI, Young Lights, MDJ, Kubica even invalidated that lap. Jeff is saying he had 2/10 in his, so that would have given him a 1:17, maybe up into 6th or 7th place. But that's going to do it here for Q3 at Albert Park Street Circuit in Melbourne, Australia for the Australian Grand Prix here of Elite Aspect F1 Gold League. Fantastic qualifying it was. We all knew these drivers had it. Interesting how it didn't shake up the way it maybe could have, but these drivers were pushing, and it definitely showed, as we saw there at the end of the qualifying session, that some of those drivers are maybe putting a little bit too much. As we saw Young Lights off the road, we saw AI lose it there right out of the final turn, trying to get that extra 0.02 of a second out of it, trying to get himself up the road there just a little bit. But congratulations to Polhus in that AlphaTauri with a 1:16.905, 3/10 ahead of the guy in second place, LH Monty, who, of course, again, is a race winner here this season already in Elite Aspect F1 Gold. So there's our starting top 10. Of course, if you were in here for Q2 and Q1, you would know who was eliminated and where they're going to start. We are going to go ahead and get on with the race. I will tell you that I think we're still not doing a formation lap. We are doing a formation lap, but it's going to be set in broadcast mode, because there's a glitch that if somebody doesn't line up properly, they could be kicked out of the lobby, and then it messes up everything. So right now, until EA Codemasters can fix that, we're just going to stick with the non-formation lap, the broadcast formation lap, and get a rundown of everything. So again, soft, medium, hard compound tires. I believe it's the middle set, the C4, C3, C2, soft to hards, available for this circuit. It might be C3, C2, C1. I'm not quite sure, because this track can be pretty high degradation. They did resurface it. I don't know if the game knows that, but the track was resurfaced just a couple years ago when they revamped everything, so shouldn't be quite as bumpy and difficult on tire wear as it used to be. But yeah, we've got lots of chatter in the back there, but we are on a formation lap, and it is in broadcast mode, so I'll let the other commentator take it away.
The atmosphere around the circuit is electric, and the crowd are hoping for an exciting race from the drivers today.
On the left side of the screen, you do see our starting compound tires for those drivers. We've got the guy at front starting on the softs, not bad. Softs to mediums is a one-stop strategy, of course, but you do lose a lot of time there towards the end. And then the medium to hard seems to be like the ultimate strategy for most of these drivers. I did see some drivers starting on the hards, but I think you can take the mediums a little bit longer in this race than 12 to 14 laps. I think 16, 17 laps of the 29 laps that we do go around here. I think that's definitely possible. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers roll with the strategy that we've got going on. I'm not seeing anything as of yet. Hopefully I got time to get set up before the 5 red lights go out. But we are about to get started here. Elite Aspect F1 Gold League round 3 of season 1 at Melbourne Australian GP here at Albert Park. Full track map is on. Don't need anything else on. 5 red lights, and away we go. It looks like the top 2 drivers got away well. No, the McLaren of Josh 2 has already overtaken LH Monty as they're going side by side into turn 1. Young Lights was there as well. Looks like they're still not banging wheels, but side by side, very, very close, as they're going to have to start funneling down 3 wide, maybe even 2 wide, going down into turn 3 and 4 as we see Young Lights trying to get up. MDG has moved up a couple spots. AI already up a spot. SER Jackson is now overtaking him into turns 5 and 6. One of the AI, he went a little bit wide there, no issues there, but somebody has been off the track quite a few times and already gotten a penalty. I don't see anything else going on in the background. We're going to come back up to the leaders for just a minute here as Paul Hughes has gotten away just fine as well. The McLaren of Josh 2 has gotten past Monty. CPI 0, we're going to keep an eye on him in the Alpine sitting in 4th place. Young Lights right behind him in the McLaren from MDJ, from Kratos, from the 2 Mercedes of SAR Jackson. Jeff already up to 9th place and AI down to 10th as we do want to look back just to make sure nothing else is really going on. I don't see any damage to any cars. I don't see any side-by-side action going on at the moment. I don't see, looks like Jake had a little bit of an issue at the start. I don't see any damage on the front wing of that car. There might be an end plate missing if I'm not correct. I could not be correct. But we do see Faster Than You looks like he's ghosted, so not sure what happened there as Core Lemon's getting past him, going a little bit deep there into the last turn there. Faster Than You gets by, but it does look like he's ghosted, so not sure what's going on with that, as we do have Michael bringing up the rear of the pack in 17th place. And back up to the front, looks like Young Lights has already lost a little bit of time here. He's going to be under threat here from the other guys. He needs to pick up the pace here on lap 2, see if he can gain a couple tenths here just to get sure that he's still in that DRS detection zone as he crosses the line. Especially coming out into turn 6 and 7 on lap 3. So on the medium compound tires, a little bit different strategy from him, as a lot of drivers did start. It looks like Paul Hughes on the soft compound tires had a great start. Obviously a little bit more traction. Josh 2 overtaking LH Monty into turn 1 right off the start. So fantastic start from him as well. We've still got a couple drivers very, very close together. This whole 5th, 6th, 7th, that whole line is going very well. As we want to watch Kratos, is he going to try to make a move? I thought he just purpled a sector for some reason, as he is all over the gearbox in MDJ. He has to lose a little bit of time backing off there, but maybe he's got his brake set a little bit better for he can get into the turns a little bit faster. Of course, he does in that Red Bull, and I've been saying something about that rear end. If you can get that thing around, the way he and AI both like to drive these cars, that's just what I've been seeing. So as we are on starting lap 3 here, so DRS is going to be enabled. Pujols is pulling away, but again, he was on the soft. Core Lemon looks like he is just retired from the race. I don't know if he pulled into the... Well, was he the one that was ghosted? No, Faster Than You's ghosted too. So I think we had an issue there with everything, but we don't want to take our eyes off what's really going on. Young Light's definitely struggling on those medium compound tires to keep up with the drivers ahead of him. So we'll see how his works. Something's going with SAR Jackson. He's gone off track, trying to rejoin now. Got back on safely, so well done by him. We have the 2 Ferraris of Michael and Dodoligo sitting in 14th, 15th. We'll see how those 2 guys play their gaps with each other. As we do have DRS enabled now, and they are close enough to be able to use it. So we are seeing those rear wings starting to open. Stay within 1 second of the guy in front of you. I think CPI's Young Lights is under pressure here from CPI 0. We're going to ride on board with CPI 0 since he is the closest to the guy in front besides AI and Kubica. But that's a little bit further down, and Kubica also has a run on Diaz going into turn 1 here as soon as they finish their lap 3. We are on lap 4 now as Poyuz has just crossed the line, but still only 1 second ahead. Who's got the better run here? Not a great run for CPI Zero. He might just be trying to nurse his tires a little bit to see where he can make that overtake. SCR Jackson has retired after his little issue that he had, so maybe a little bit of damage. It could have been, something wrong with the transmission. He had a little bit of lock in the differential, so it could have been an issue with the actual car. We do see that sometimes in these races. But yeah, CPI Zero and Young Lights is a battle that we definitely want to keep our eyes on. Poyuz has pulled out for 1 second of Josh right behind him. We do have a good battle going on from 4th, 5th, 6th back. So we're going to keep our eyes on that one for the moment. If I see anything strange happening behind us, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Is that CPI Zero? Is he going to think about it? No, not quite. That's a tough place to overtake. We know DRS is very powerful through there, but it's almost you get into that dirty air. MDJ, though, he's got DRS. He's going to send that Haas down on the inside going into turn 11. Got that move done on the hard compound tires, so fantastic from him. He might be on the right strategy, depending on how this race plays out, but fantastic driving from all 4 of those drivers, actually. Keeping it close, keeping it tight, keeping it fast, and no contact at all, but fantastic from him. Let's see. Now CPI Zero is probably going to come back right at him. But that Haas is just lightning in a straight line, so it's going to depend on setup there as AI and Dodoligo just had a change in position. Maybe that Haas is running with lesser wing, but we'll see how that's going to affect him if he knows how to. Oh, LA's Monty and Josh, those two are battling it out up front as they go down into turn 3 and 4 there. Sorry, I missed that. LA's Monty using the DRS, getting on the inside, going down into turn 3. Now we've got Josh all over the back of him. He's going to get the run in DRS detection zone right out of here. So in just a second, he's going to have DRS. He was within 3/10. We've got Kratos all over the back of CPI Zero as well. They're going to be side by side going because CPI Zero does not have DRS. Did those two? Oh, Josh had to back out of that one. Now I got to go back to CPI Zero. Kratos did get by there, it does look like. And then Diask and Jeff, that was another move that looked like just happened. Nope, somebody is ghosted again. So I've seen a lot of ghost cars around here today. I don't know if they went AI and something happened under the formation lap, but I can't really worry about that too much. We've got Josh and Monty are a little bit deep there from Josh into turn 12 and 13. But we still have this 4 of MDJ, Young Lights, Kratos, CPI Zero. They have been back and forth this whole race as we do have DRS is now effective. This game looks pretty good. I think it looks a lot better on screen, especially broadcast mode, than last year's race. Just a little bit more detail. Maybe it's the PS5 versus PS4. I'm not sure what it is on my end, but I just think the actual game looks a lot better. From a driver's content perspective, I do think the race feels a lot better. I think the cars stick a little bit better. I think overall it's a better feeling in the game. But yeah, we cannot take our eyes off this as the top 4 drivers are separated by over a second. So we're going to keep our eyes on 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th here. As it is Young Lights, who we do want to shout out to, of course, for putting all this together and getting this great league together. And we do have some other guys within a second behind us between 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, 12th even. That is a fantastic battle going on behind us as we have the Haas going down the inside on those hard compound tires. Don't know if there was contact there. I think he backed out right at the right time. But MDJ on those hard compound tires is really putting it to these guys, putting on a performance. But no, now we've got, it was Kratos there trying to make a look there. All 3 of these drivers within 2-3 of each other. CPI Zero is just behind him saying, hey, you guys battle. I'll pick up the pieces here in just a minute. Young Lights fighting, defending for his life. Up to 4th place, though. Now he's got his teammate in front of him. Can he close that gap a little bit? Maybe his teammate can help him out, give him some DRS, try to help him defend a little bit better. As we are on board with the Haas of MDJ now, is he going to be able to make that run into turn 1? I think turn 3 is a better run, especially if you can get a better exit out of turn 2 with the DRS. It does look like he's done that here. Let's ride on board. He goes to the outside. Young Lights defending on the inside. That's probably the right thing to do. Is he going to leave enough space? He definitely does. Great awareness and great racecraft there from Young Lights, leaving enough space. But what does that do? That opens MDJ up to CPI 0 and Kratos behind him. We have some more stuff. Jidane, another great group battling right here for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. I don't want to keep my eyes off the top 5 here that are really going at it. So Young Lights up into 4th, MDJ now 5th, Kratos 6th, CPI 0 7th. But again, as soon as I move away, we've got side-by-side MDJ and Young Lights into turn 9 and 10. Looks like MDJ got by under DRS, and now Young Lights is definitely at risk. Is Kratos going to be able to send it down the inside here into turn 11? Looks like he does. Not much Young Lights can do. A little bit off track there. He's going to lose acceleration. He's going to lose a spot to CPI 0. I think that's just a racing incident. I wouldn't say too much about that. Unfortunate for Young Lights, of course, as he did get boxed out there just a little bit. But sometimes you got to learn to back out and fight another day. Now he's going to pick up DRS from the other guys. MDJ has gotten away over a second from Kratos. CPI 0. Nope. Kratos still had DRS in that detection zone. Looks like Jeff has decided to come into the pits early. Did Young Lights be able to close that gap? Now he's got a little bit of free air in front of him to close that gap, but just picked up a penalty as well. Unfortunate to see that. CPI 0, Kratos, all those guys still fighting. We're going to get back to Diaz and Dodaligo, who was one of the last-minute additions here into the race. Both of these drivers, I believe. Deco was one of the last-minute. I think Dodaligo, he's a reserve. Good to see him racing, as we do have a set yellow flag in Sector 3. Safety car is out. That looks like a Ferrari. Was that Michael? Why is the safety car out? Did he hit the wall? Yes, he definitely did. So hit the wall, drops him to be, but still in the race. So let's not count Michael out, as he's going to get around. He's going to get past the safety car. Did Core Lemon get past the safety car? He sure did. But Core Lemon is ghosted, and I think Michael should get past him. So Core Lemon is definitely out of the race. Faster Than You is still ghosted. I think he's going to be allowed to be overtaken as well. That's going to be our first safety car of the race here on lap 8. This might actually serve pole use very, very well if he decides he wants to come in and go ahead and get off those soft tires. As now we're seeing some penalties being put out for yellow flags that might have been passed for. That's unfortunate. As we do see pole use coming into the pits. Slowing down, making sure we're less than 50 miles an hour, or 50 kilometers an hour, whichever one it is. Doesn't look like he got a penalty for that. So Monty stays out, Josh comes in, MDJ comes in, CPI 0 comes in, Kratos stays out, Young Lights is staying out, Bits is staying out. Who wants track position? Who wants to get off the tires? Jadan doesn't like his hard tires. He's going to switch those off. Diaska's in. Dodaligo is in. Looks like VDV is in as well. VDV, he's another driver that's really impressed me. He's been able to fight through the back and finish pretty high up, as the Alpine's double stacked there, it looks like. So CPI 0 out first. Now VDV didn't look too bad for them. Michael has left the session. SCR Jackson is a do not finish. Faster Than You is still AI'd, it looks like. He's just ghosted, so... And so is Core Lemon. So if you guys in the chat, if you know those guys are racing, that's fine with me. Just let me know what's going on, because I am interested. But we do have the safety car, and we'll get up to the leaders now, as everybody came into their pit stop. So we'll go ahead and put that up here. What is going on here? Position change. We see Monty is now in first. Kratos moved up 2 spots to second. Young Lights in 4th. Pole Use is down 3 spots, but still sitting in 3rd after changing those tires. So he's done a pit stop. And so is Josh as well. And then we've got MDJ, and everybody has done a pit stop besides Monty, Kratos, Young Lights, Kubica, and AI have not done their pit stops yet. So that's, I think Pole Hughes right now is the race leader. We'll put Josh on a podium and MDJ in 3rd at the moment, based on where they stand now and who's done pit stops and who hasn't. Because if the drivers in front of them who haven't stopped do stop, and the race is still close, then that's going to be 1, 2, 3 at the moment. But again, something could happen, and the top 3 could be, you know, Deco could finish 1st place. VDV, I know he's got good pace. Jadane, I know has good pace. So we're going to see what happens as Kubica does come into the pits. So he's decided, I'm going to take these medium tires off, probably put on a set of hards, as we're going to look and see who's got on what tires now. So the top 3 drivers... Oh, what was that? There was a Red Bull in the background. I hope that was just a glitch. That had to be a glitch. Okay. Sweet. And we do have some penalties out there, so that's unfortunate as well. But we'll see how the race evolves. Maybe everybody picks up a 3-second penalty. and we don't have to worry about it too much. But now we're migrating hosts, so that's definitely not good. Definitely not good. I'm gonna take a screenshot. Maybe I got kicked out. I took a screenshot. Alright. I think that's it. So, alright, so that died. I took a screenshot of where everybody was. Yeah, so I'm still streaming. Just want to let everybody know I'm probably going to restart the stream. We're going to call it part 2. We also know that's a red flag session. So we're not sure what just happened. So everybody stand by for just 1 second before I stop the stream. I want to make sure I communicate with everybody. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream now. And then what we're going to do is reset the grid order and try to finish this out. We're going to have a part 2 of this session. Alright?